A textbook can be technically correct and still be biased. A textbook can be technically correct and still miseducate. There are these deeper issues that have been raised today about ethics and morality, and I want to raise and recast the notion of power. As Ms. Dunbar suggests, why is it political and ideological when it involves criticism by Mexican-American scholars? And why in Dunbar's world is it not political or ideological when it involves the authors of this explicitly biased textbook? Why is it not biased then? For starters, for a book publishing agenda of this importance to come forward precisely because of the demands for inclusion, curricular inclusion, here in this space in 2014 by the Mexican-American community is inescapably political. This is political. Life is political. Politics means power and its assertion. The number one factor in majority-minority relations is power. Minority is not a statement about numbers. It is a statement about power, social, cultural, political, and economic power. That is the desire really for a course, but what ended up being a textbook is precisely the result of an assertion of political power by the Mexican-American community. And you know what? We don't only advocate for ourselves as a community. We have a long history of advocating for all of our communities, women, minorities, undocumented, the LGBT community, and so on. So it should be noted that our political power as a Latino Mexicano community is not equal to that of a Cynthia Dunbar, who owns a publishing house. And that is systemic. Believe me, if any of us owned a publishing house, we would be having a very different conversation today. And maybe this is the ultimate hidden desire for us to never, ever get to that point, to where we ourselves are owners of a publishing house. And it's mystifying to think that an unknown publishing company would assume this great and important task of responding to a community's entire history of curricular exclusion by placing it in the assumptive hands of a self-appointed unknown publisher written by equally unknown curriculum developers, as if this were merely a technical exercise and if no expert authority beyond this were necessary. Such little regard is itself an instantiation of privilege and minority-majority relations, and then to give it the title Mexican-American Heritage, absent any concern over our community's lifelong legendary struggle for respectful inclusion in a state curriculum preempts this very opportunity for authorship with a title that should honor us, but instead disrespects us and relegates us to a feared and suspect class. History, like democracy, is much more than a market where our role as a public is limited to that of us as consumers. History for us, for all of us as minorities, is about authorship. And the misuse and abuse of privilege robs us of our voice and authorship in an area about which we are deeply invested. If this is not about ideological or political power, then nothing that was said today is political or ideological, and we know this to not be true. Thank you very much.